So, you guys remember when I said that this camera can only record for a couple of minutes, like for like an hour and 40 minutes due to the fact that it was using internal memory, which it doesn't really say anywhere on here. Sorry, I was looking at the camera. It doesn't really say anywhere on the camera how much internal memory it has. You guys remember me saying that, right? And I can't use a memory card on it because the memory card has to be a specific branded memory card, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out I'm full of shit because this camera totally takes micro SD cards. But I think back in the day, the problem was I was trying to use a micro SD card, but it was when I had the shitty micro SD cards, like the little 32 giggers and 8 giggers that were like not super high capacity, high speed ones, because the camera wouldn't take those. So I just used the internal memory and called it that. So now that I got one of these 256 gig memory, oh no, this is 128 gig in here, I can record for 5 hours and 14 minutes, no problem. That's super cool. Basically, I stole the SD card from the GoPro Hero 4 to see if it would fit, because I noticed on the side it said micro SD XC, and I'm like, wait a second, that's what I have in the Hero 4, and the Hero Session, and the Hero 4 Session 4, whatever. The other, basically the Session 5 and the Session 4 and this one here all had 128 gig micro SD cards. They were on sale at Amazon back in the day, one of the Prime days. I ended up buying 3, and I didn't know why I bought 3. Oh, yeah, I bought one for that little Canon mascara case camera, but it turns out that thing can't read anything higher than 32 gigs because it's potato. So I kind of put it in the package and tossed it off to the side. But 128 gigs in this thing gives me 5 hours, and the GoPro gives me 5 hours, and then the other GoPro gives me 5 hours. So, however, 128 gig in the DJI only gives me 3 hours because it records in 2.7K. That's a big file format. I find recording in 4K is useless when you render in 1080p, so why bother? I just go 2.7K, and that way there, because the camera doesn't have zoom, if I do need to zoom, I can just zoom myself, and life's good. Anyway, I'm just making my dinner right now. I'm just frying up some ground turkey here. For breakfast I had eggs, for lunch I had the rest of that chicken, and now I'm having some ground turkey. Should be pretty good. I was thinking about taking a rip over to Food Basics there in the next hour because they have this fish on sale for $5 a bag. Regular it's $7. I thought about going to scoop up a couple bags because I do really like it for lunches and stuff. It's a low calorie, high protein, friggin' awesome way to eat. That's what I like. Also, something else I need to stop doing is stop frigging around on the weekend with the snack foods. Holy crap, I come back from ice fishing and it's like, wow, I burnt 2,900 calories and I didn't eat anything all day. And then what do I end up doing? Going to the grocery store, buying chicken wings and potato chips and friggin' all sorts of just junk foods. So I burnt like 3,000 calories, but then I end up ingesting 5,000. So I kind of defeat the purpose of getting all that exercise, right? It'd be fine if I mashed it calorie for calorie with quality foods, but let me tell you, they're not quality foods, so I gotta smarten up. Sure, they might taste delicious, but are they really good for you? Hard no. This is the reason why I want to get the dehydrator. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. It's so that I can make a whole bunch of beef jerky, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then bring that with me ice fishing. Because beef jerky, if I make it myself, I know what's going into it, so I know how many, if I'm using teriyaki and whatever, I know exactly what the contents of the teriyaki, well, roughly, whatever they put on the label. If it's accurate or not, that's another story, but I know roughly what's going into the teriyaki sauce if I season it that way. And if I just pepper it using salt and pepper, or if I marinate it in water and my special spice to try and give it a different taste, and then blast it with the dehydrator to infuse it with the taste and see if that works. But like my buddy Joe, he's done it where he never even bothered marinating them or nothing. He just basically fired them into the, he uses his oven. He built a little rack that he hangs the meat from, then he puts a cookie sheet underneath to catch all the drippings, and it worked pretty good. Like the end result was, like, he gave me a piece and it tasted like Jack Link's. It just didn't have all the bullshit in it. And that's what I'm aiming for, is same great taste, none of the bullshit, because that's what we need in life, right? And another thing I need to do is stop eating processed foods. Now, you got to be careful when you say the word processed foods, right? Because theoretically, this ground turkey right now, this is classified as a processed food because it was obviously processed through a meat grinder to become this shape. Turkey breast is non-processed. This is called Tier 1 processed when it's grounded up, for instance, the fish. Okay? This is Tier 1 processed. These are valid fillets. processing phase was when they processed it by filleting the fish. I actually got into an argument with a dietitian on the bodybuilding Facebook forum that I'm part of, where somebody was like, I want to lose weight and I'm not sure how, and they said, well, first, step one, stop eating processed foods. And that's a pretty vague thing to say, because like I said, there's different tiers of processing, you know? Tier one is as simple as grinding up meat to make chuck, or grinding up or filleting a fish. You wouldn't call it a processed food, but it is. If you want to be... Okay, this one's obviously empty. Holy shit. I'm me putting mustard on my... Gives it that McDonald's cheese... McDonald's hamburger taste. You put mustard on your ground beef. I love it. It doesn't do anything for calories, mind you, but that's okay. I'm not looking for calories. But yeah, basically I was like, well, specify your processed foods. Like, you got to be careful. And when I said, you know, like when I buy fish, do I buy a whole fish, or is it safe to buy it already filleted? They said, well, of course you buy it already filleted. Why would you buy a whole fish? You don't know where that fish has been. So, well, you don't know where the filleted fish is either. It ended up becoming this long discussion, and I ended up just stopped rebuttaling because they were getting so mad that they were starting to get personal. Like, you could tell they were losing the battle, so they had to get hateful. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Obviously, this person doesn't want to discuss. They thought I was trolling. Meanwhile, I was being serious. Like, you got to be careful with the term processed food, because grinding up meat to make hamburger meat, that's processed. But also at the same time, grinding up meat, or like taking like a full chicken, bones and all, hitting it in a pressure cooker for 6 hours, 8 hours, turning the bones into literally congealed mush, taking the whole friggin' thing, then sending it through a meat grinder and making it into like putty, then blenderizing it into a slop, and then taking said slop, laying it out on a table, using a cookie cutter to cut out shapes, taking those shapes, breading them, and driving them in the oven and baking them, and making chicken nuggets. That's called tier 3 processing. And that's the kind of shit you gotta watch out for, because you have no idea what the heck you're eating when you eat those chicken nuggets. Like, it's not chicken. Well, it is chicken, but it could be the beak, could be the arsehole, could be the bones, could be you might have some real meat in there, but you don't know the different levels of processing that goes into food. I'm eating tier 1 processed food right here. Ground turkey. Bon appetit. Time to go eat. The only thing that's funny about running this camera off not internal memory and the actual SD card is the actual SD card takes longer for the camera to turn on, because it's got to like turn on the camera, check the SD card's format, make sure it's still there, and then read it. So I haven't even plugged this thing into the computer yet to see how it reacts with the SD card in it. I know that putting the SD card in it wasn't easy though. Holy shit. Non-stop. Please reinsert the SD card. Please check alignment of SD card. Blah, 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 SD card. Because the slot is designed to fit micro SD and the Sony memory nonsense bullshit. So you gotta like move the SD card right over to the edge and then slide it in carefully. Otherwise it gets caught and it gets all janked and it doesn't make connection. It's pretty stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna do my dishes. Alright, well, I came downstairs to grab another garbage bag. I should probably let him out, eh? Yeah. Figured we can do another round of decluttering. So grab myself a garbage bag. I got the dog outside. Gotta wait for him to come back inside before we head upstairs and start. Currently it is 6:30. I want to go for 7 for groceries, so we'll declutter for about a half an hour and then jump in the truck and head over to Food Basics and see a guy about some fish. Does that make sense? Man, doing the Bowflex today, I friggin' decided to load as much weight on it as possible, and I don't know what the hell's going on with my wrist, but friggin' thing, it just gives out. So I had to use my friggin' straps. I don't like doing that because it takes it, like, okay, yeah, you're trying to grow your chest while you're doing bench press, right? But if you use your straps to like lock your wrist because your wrist wants to give, then maybe you shouldn't be lifting that much weight. I think that's what they always said, you know, don't lift beyond your means. But I had to use my friggin' straps to be able to lift it because my left wrist, it's been giving me troubles too, like doing curls with the friggin' easy curl bar. It hurts and gives out, and it doesn't make sense. And doing, I can do the reverse curls where you basically grab the bar like this and you bring it up. Not like that's probably not the proper form. I can't hold the camera far back enough to show you. I'm doing regular easy curls. It gets me in the wrist, but I can do hammer curls all day till the cows come home with the dumbbells. Reverse curls if my bar had it, and I wish it kind of did. There's an easy curl bar out there that I'd love to get my hands on, and I keep checking the used lists and the other, well, they're all closed right now, but the other muscle dummy stores, see if I can order it online. It's one of those bars, it's shaped like an easy curl bar, but it kind of goes up and then straight down and then up and then across and then down, up, like an S pattern, and you can grab it like this and do a double-handed friggin' hammer curl. I'd like to get one of those and load it up with the same amount of weight that I have on mine right now. Come on, Gumby. And then that way there I can totally like friggin' hammer out some super curls and set up a proper bicep gauntlet again where I do like inverted curls, hammer curls, barbell, dumbbell, straight curls, and then dumbbell friggin' hammer curls or whatever. I like hammer curls better than regular curls anyway because they just feel better. I guess to each their own, right? To each their own? Yeah, sure, to each their own. Anyway, this room's a freaking mess, so I'm gonna get crackle-lackle eating on this and clean this shit up. Alright, well, I'm doing something I should have done a while ago, and that's going through these cabinets over here. Like, this is all vaping bottles and stuff I don't need anymore, so I'm just gonna throw it in the garbage. I don't know anybody who makes their own juice, so it's a shame because there's at least a lot of bottles here. What else do we got in here? Ooh, I could use this here for not what it was intended for. I could use this in the garage, a C-clamp. I've been looking for one of these. I was gonna buy it, but it's like, I already own one, so cool. I got this, and a couple Christmases ago, Dad bought me one of these. It's a pack of friggin' adjustable wrenches. This is like 3-4 Christmases ago. Gotta bring those out to the garage too, put them in my toolbox. Put a couple of them in my bike for next summer. What else do we got in here? What is this? 9-volt Next Tech charger. What the frig are you for? Some proprietary charger, I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to it because maybe it's for something useful or... Brand spanking new wire for making vape. Didn't even use it. This is actually a microphone for a computer. I'm gonna hang on to that. Good. Sell it. Kanthal wire. It's not stainless steel. It's no good. Kanthal wire. Not stainless steel. No good. Sounds like I'm repeating myself. Oh man, sweet. Whole bunch of adapters for accessories for my compressor. Those there can go out to the garage too. What else do we got in here? What the heck is this? That's the software for the XPS 8300, which is still working. Cabling, battery charger for... Is that inflated? Oh, this is the battery charger for the little Canon. Cool. I was wondering where the hell that went. Now I know. It's over here. Just want to make sure I got all the vaping shit out of here because I kind of don't need to hang on to that anymore. Oh, it's a battery box. Got a batch. I bought this thing off of Deal Extreme long ass friggin' time ago for the GoPro Hero 4. It's a GoPro remote, so you can press buttons and it turns the thing on. I don't even know how it charges. Oh, it's got a proprietary charging cable on the bottom. If I can't find that cable, this thing's basically garbage. Holy crap, it's an old charger for an Ego cigarette. Yeah, going through all this crap, seeing what I can find. I don't know what the hell this thing charged, but it's definitely nothing. It's not the remote, that's for sure. Okay. I've already been through this one here. Finding a lot of... Oh no, this is a different HDMI. This is a big HDMI to a little HDMI. You can hook it up to a camera or something. What wire is this? USB-C. What do I got up here? Oh my goodness, it's a GoPro Hero 1. My first ever GoPro ever. Used to put this on Oreo. Poor dog, the thing weighs a freaking ton. Compared to the Session, thing weighs a ton. Alright. Not seeing anything worthy of junking in here. I wonder if these things still work. The original son of a bitchers. What inspired the vlogging life. Throw a charge to these and see if they actually power up. Do they have is there a memory card in them? No. These didn't have memory built in, did they? No, they just filmed in 720p. I think these were the good ones because they had the sticker on them. And I used to film with them all the time. You son of a bitch recording me, man! Oh my goodness, it's a helmet mount. I actually like to modify this to go on a tripod. Only reason is so that I could leave my GoPro on one of the clippy things and just move it from chest to tripod to monopod to whatever pod. Another one of these stupid things. Battery packs. Brand new, never been opened, freaking charger for a camera for the Panasonic. Bet you this thing doesn't take a charge anymore. It wasn't high def, it was 480p. I really like this camera too. The FS200. This thing actually was the bomb. It had a nice light on it. Had a microphone jack right there. Microphone jack. Just didn't have a shoe to attach a microphone to it. But I used to just plug in a lapel mic and wear it around. And it worked out pretty damn good. Just finding a bunch of shit that I don't know why I'm keeping. Hey, I wonder if these are nice and insulated for ice fishing. You guys remember this thing? It's a projector. I remember using this here back in the day on my Xbox. I had a video on the Skivinz channel about that. I played Gran Turismo. I should try and charge this thing up and see if it actually takes a charge and turns on. Actually, will it turn on right now? No, battery's flat. Let's see if it takes a charge. Well, the light's on, so that's a good sign, I guess. Sweet. Anyway, it's 7 o'clock, so I got this bag here getting there a little bit. That's a foam that I had for my bed. It didn't quite fit the bed. What I'm thinking is if I unroll that, right now it's folded in half and rolled up. If I unroll it, if I can stitch the edges, that'd make a nice bedroll for instant camping. I do have my air mattress, but the problem is, my biggest concern with going camping this summer is bringing Oreo. The reason why it's my biggest concern is not because he's a bad dog or anything, it's just because he's gonna climb all over the air mattress and he will puncture. I can guarantee it. Like, his talons are pretty big. He's got some pretty good claws on him. He will puncture it, and then I'll be laying on the ground. So what I was thinking was, if I can get some form of a padded mattress or something to lay on while we camp. Make sure the truck starts, for crying out loud. It's kind of cold out right now. Temperature took a shit, but yeah, if I could get some sort of a padded surface to lay on, and he can just lay down beside me. He lays on hard surfaces all the time. I could just bring a cushion or something for him if he wants to get comfy, but chances are he'll just end up sleeping right on top of me like he always friggin' does when he breaks into the room. So yeah, we could go camping, and I wouldn't have to worry about him destroying the air mattress, and I could save the air mattress for if I end up doing something where I'm going alone, like down south, and I can't bring him. Now, my buddy, his dog has anxiety too, like Oreo, when he goes on a long rip. He told me go to the he goes to the dope shop, the cannabis store, whatever, and he buys CBD drops. And he gives his dog 1 drop, or 1 mil, or whatever it is. But he has a bigger dog. He's got an Eskimo. It's like a Pomeranian, just double the size. They come in at around 20-25 pounds. For Pomeranians, usually, like Oreo's big for a Pomeranian. So I've been told by the vet, who's convinced he's not a purebred. I assured him he was, because I've seen the parents. He basically gives his dog a mil, and the dog gets so freaking blazed that he just doesn't care that he's in a car. Doesn't puke or anything, doesn't get sick. Like, the problem with Oreo is he gets in the car and he gets all excited because he knows he's going somewhere, but he wants to get there yesterday because he's just so... Going from my house to my parents, there was a 38% chance that he was going to puke, and I literally live around the corner from, like, 3-minute drive. I'm there. There's a couple times where he did throw up in the car because he got so excited. He hasn't thrown up in the truck, but he has thrown up in the car, so that's a thing. Sorry, that was bugging me. I had coffee grinds there. Anyway, I'm gonna rock a shit, let the truck warm up, we're gonna go get some groceries. Guys, just got back from groceries, and I just realized something. I have no idea where my jar of bait went. You know, the pickled minnows that I've been using for ice fishing? I have a bad feeling I left them on the ice. That, or they're in the sled in the garage, if that's the case. Once again, I froze the poor little bastards. It doesn't matter, they're dead anyway. Anyway, came back from groceries, got some fish. Some more fish. Guess what? Some more fish. I love it. It's like $5 a thing. Why not? Romaine hearts. It's lettuce. You're like, holy shit, Adam's buying vegetables. This is used for buns for hamburgers for tomorrow night. So I figured instead of doing the ham, or I might just chop one of these up and throw it in with the hamburgers and fry it all together like I used to do. Also bought this. It's cauliflower. I'm gonna put it through the food processor, rice it up, and then throw it in with my ground beef when I cook it. Or ground chicken, whatever. And there were 2 for $5, so I figured I'd grab 2. And I wanted a snack for tonight because I'm a little bit hungry. I freaking pushed myself hard today. So I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I had pork rinds. Gonna have some pork rinds. Figured, you know what? When I go ice fishing, this is like the perfect keto snack to bring with you. So cool. Oh, and I bought some of these things. These 0-calorie juice add-ins for your water. I like them. I like giving water flavor every once in a while. So why not, right? They're literally, I don't know if you can read that. There's no calories. 0 across the board, except for potassium. That's probably what comes from the flavoring. Yeah, that's what I grabbed all that shit. Good to go. But I'm really concerned with where the hell I put that bait. Let's go to the garage and take a quick peek. I'm gonna need my jacket again because it's freaking freezing. Alright, well, frig, that thing's about ready to take off. Check this out, guys. Did a little redneck repair on my shoe. Like, seriously. Because I needed a quick fix, so quit ripping holes in the back of my foot. So I used duct tape. I put a piece of foam in the backing. Seems to hold, but no, it's not going to hold forever. It's going to come off. It's freaking duct tape on cloth, so I don't expect it to hold. Probably need something a little bit more stronger than dollar store duct tape. Probably dollar store Gorilla Tape, maybe. At Walmart, I took a look to see if they had any shoe repair kits, and they totally didn't, so that sucked. All right, let's go check the garage real quick. Well, worst case scenario, it's friggin' missing in action. I'll have to buy some more. Maybe I'll buy the bigger ones this time around instead of buying the small ones, because he had 2 jars. He had the bigger ones and the smaller ones. So I'll take this out, put this up here for now. Check underneath these chairs real quick. Well, this isn't very promising. Well, son of a bitch. I friggin' officially ice littered, boys. I friggin' officially ice littered. Like, I'm not, like, it's $5, right? But it's the fact that I left them on the ice. That's what's burning my dick. Hopefully somebody finds them and keeps them. And appreciates the freeness. I didn't shove them in here, did I? I never even checked that. Maybe I blindly did that last night by accident. Gonna say no. Yeah, this is just tackle. Yeah, there's nothing in there. There's no jar. Well, for frig's sakes, eh? Because, yeah, I took everything out of my pocket the other night to go to Walmart because I didn't want to walk in there with a bunch of batteries and shit. And then, well, it looks like I'm going to Trader Joe's on friggin' the weekend and picking up more shite. Just want to confirm I didn't leave them in the truck. They're not in here anywhere. Not down there, and I don't have them. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Left them on the freaking ice. Oh, man. Well, that blows. Like I said, it's not the money that's the problem. It's the littering. Because we left them so dark, and I remember they were sitting between the chairs. I was doing something. I was taking stuff out, and white top on the, like it's a white lid on the snow. You wouldn't even notice it. Well, that's bloody annoying. Not him. Well, unless I somehow brain-deadingly put them in the fridge, because that's where I've been storing them to keep them fresh, and no, they're left on the ice. Well, shit, eh? Shit. Alright, well, it's friggin' 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna grab my snackos, gonna head upstairs. And it's funny, you guys probably say, like, Adam, holy crap, you bought all that fish, but yet you go fishing and you throw so many back. Well, keep in mind, I gotta throw those fish back because they're not in the slot size. You know, follow your regs. Don't go against the law. It ain't worth it. I've heard of stories where people have were fined like a substantial amount of money. Some people were, you know, they break the law a couple times, and then the MNR basically revokes their ability to ever get a fishing license again. And I really enjoy fishing, like thoroughly enjoy it. Even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd still be fishing because it's fun. I love getting out there and giving her this ice fishing thing. This is a whole new strat that I'm trying to learn. It's definitely different, but it's fun. But if I could catch fish that I could keep, you're damn skippy I'd be keeping them. Like if I could go to Nosbonsing and pull a whole freaking slew of, because I can keep 4 walleye from there. And like the ones I've been catching out of Nipissing, those were eater size. Those were amazing eater size. 14, 15 inch walleye, delicious. Can't keep them at a nip. They got to be over 18.1 inches, which, let me tell you, I caught 2 out of that lake that were that size. And one fish it fed me and kept me full pretty much that whole night and well into the next day. I didn't eat till lunch because the fish was so satiating. So this time though, like when we catch fish, and this vlog, I know it's all over the place, but just hear me out. This time if we catch fish and we catch perch, I looked up online about different ways you can eat perch if you don't want to waste any meat. And one of them was using a steak knife or a spoon. You descale it, lop its stupid freaking head off because that's no good. Drill that in the garbage or save it for your friggin' compost or whatever. If you do composting, throw it in your compost. It's amazing for nitrates. It'll super nitrate your soil. And then you cut it open from the center right down to the butthole. Split it open. Take out all the friggin' like the stomach, the intestines, all that. It sounds gross, but just hear me out. Then when you're done there, you basically rinse it under the tap, clean all the bloodline out of it like you would a trout, and then put some lemon in between it and bake it in the oven. And I was watching a video of a guy who did this, and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of interesting. And it's kind of like the way you do a trout, except for a trout, you can skip the descaling part. So if you have small fish, like small sunfish or rock bass, and you want to get the most meat out of it, you're in a survival state, that's what you can do. And if you don't feel like descaling it, the other option is you grab it by the scale, like when you're done cooking it on the campfire, barbecue, oven, whatever you're doing, air fryer, friggin' instant pot, lighter, Bic lighter, whatever you're using, who cares? When you're done cooking it, you can pick it up. Well, cool it off first. Don't grab it when it's freaking hot. You'll burn yourself. Be smart. And you can cut it in half. And one side will have the spinal cord and all the friggin' ribs and all that. The other side should be pretty much empty. If not, well, clear the bones. And just eat it off the skin and then throw the skin out because the skin will cover in scales and you don't want to be swallowing those. They don't digest well. So I've been told. But anyway. Yeah, it literally takes this camera a lot longer to turn on and take a friggin' video with the memory card in it. I just wanted to see if it would work. It does, so that's cool. Probably going to try the GoPro this weekend again for ice fishing and do a constant video with that and then have this here on standby for when a fish is caught so that we can get it up on if a fish is caught. So we can get it up on the freaking guy. Like all the big YouTubers do. They got their GoPro going and then they catch a fish and they turn on their big camera. Mind you, they're using DSLRs. I guess I could do the same. I have a DSLR. It just doesn't shoot 60 frames per second, and I kind of like filming in 60 frames per second because it just looks cleaner, I find. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, one of the questions is probably on everybody's mind is that projector. I've been charging it for a while. Does it still work? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it turns on and it totally throws a blue light on the wall. Only problem is I got nothing to hook it up to. Like if I turn it on, it displays the Optima symbol. So that's kind of cool that it actually still works. That's pretty neat. Like it's pretty old, so it doesn't have HDMI or anything cool like that. It literally uses RCA. Not quite sure what I could plug it into. Maybe the Nintendo 64 downstairs. Project it on a wall and play Super Mario World. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down here. It's currently freaking almost, well, it's 9:30, so I want to get to bed shortly. I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow, and it should be a good one, so, well, it's gonna be work. And then we got Friday, and then the weekend for ice fishing. So anxious. So anxious to go out there and give her a dangle. It's gonna be a cold one too, so I'm hoping my heater hose shows up. Apparently it shipped yesterday, so I'm hoping it's here by the weekend. If not, I got those 2 propane tanks that I bought from Walmart for $9 that we should be okay for this weekend, and then next weekend we'll drag a 20-pounder out with us and seriously friggin' throw some heat in that shanty. That'll be awesome. Anyway people, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time guys, remember, live to win, never give in. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.